Hi everyone, today my group, T-SMArET, LING and me, YUEXIEN are going to talk about free energy equipment and electrical appliances, which is solar oven. Now, let us look at the introduction of this project. What do you guys know about solar oven? Solar oven is also known as the collector box because the heat from the sunlight is collected inside the box. Do you know temperature inside the solar oven can range from 250 degrees Fahrenheit to 300 degrees Fahrenheit with a maximum temperature of 400 degrees Fahrenheit? How does solar oven work? Solar oven works with the presence of sunlight. The ray of light penetrates Earth at an angle. Reflector then reflects the ray into the box. Heat that passes through the plastic cover heats the air trapped inside the box.
Now let's have a look on the objective of this solar oven project. So, this project enables students to apply all knowledge that is learned from the previous lab sessions into making the solar oven. And also it can enable students to understand the concept and mechanism of a solar oven. Besides, it can test the students' ability in designing and building their own solar oven, and also test the students' teamwork while working in the assigned group.
Hi guys, I'm T-SMArET. Well, thanks for the wonderful presentation earlier. Now, I would like to share about the pros and cons of a solar oven. Okay, so let's take a look first at the good side. First, it is eco-friendly. This is because the materials that are required to produce solar oven are recyclable items such as box or newspaper. Secondly, a solar oven saves out fuel or electricity. Next, it is also easy to be tried out, especially the children under adult supervision. Lastly, related to the third point, this activity could attract the children's interest in the STEM field as the mechanism also requires science technology. So, now let's move on to the next slide. Firstly, it takes longer time to be used as compared to the conventional oven. Then, it is highly affected by weather and temperature. Moreover, it also cannot be used without the presence of sunlight. Just imagine you are fast at night. We will not able to use the solar oven as there is no sun to help it generate energy. It is also depending on the size limited to how many items can be cooked at once. So here are the material lists for producing a solar oven. There are box, cylinder container, aluminum foil, plastic wrap, black paper, thermometer, ingredients such as egg, hot dog, cheese, wooden stick, hamster, ruler, utility knife, glue, cellophane tape, barbecue stick, electric drill, and the most important is sunny day.
Step 1. On the top of the box, draw 3 lines that is about 2 cm. Step 2. Use an utility knife to cut the box according to the line drew and a ruler to straighten the edge. Step 3. Take aluminium foil to the inside surface of the slab you just cut and to the bottom of the inside of the box. Smooth out any wrinkles.
We're as different as can be.
Step 4. Tape black paper to the bottom surface of the box above the aluminium foil to help absorb more heat from the incoming sunlight. Make sure it is stick to the surface of the box. Step 5. Take plastic wrap over the hole you cut into the lid so that the heat can't escape. Seal all 4 of the edges with tape. Step 6. Put 4 rolled newspaper at the sides inside the box to hold more heat.
Use electric drill to make 2 holes on the top and the bottom of the container. On the surface of the cylinder container, use a pencil to draw a rectangular size. Use the utility knife to cut a hole according to the line drew. Tape plastic wrap around the cylinder container. And it's done.
After finish producing the solar oven, let's proceed with next step. First of all, put water inside the cylinder container using a barbecue stick. Determine the temperature of water and add to the thermometer. After that, use a wooden stick to support the aluminum foil lid so it can reflect the sunlight to the egg. Then, place the bowl and cylinder container under the sunlight for some time and wait for the result. Next, repeat step 13 to 15 for the chip.
Turning our attention now to the results obtained. For hot dog, the temperature before is 25.7 degrees Celsius, and it is in flesh color. After 4 hours of heating, the temperature changes to 31.2 degrees Celsius, and it hardens and undergoes discoloration. For egg, the temperature before heating under the sunlight is 24.3 degrees Celsius, and it is in liquid state. After 4 hours of heating, the temperature becomes 30.6 degrees Celsius. The egg white turns misty while the egg yolk hardens and pops out due to the heat energy from the reflected sunlight. And the last one, cheese. The temperature before heating is 12.1 degrees Celsius and it is in solid state. After 2 hours of heating, the temperature becomes 31.3 degrees Celsius and it melts and becomes soft. The next one I would like to focus on is the science theory involved in this project. Law of reflection. When a beam of light is directed onto a piece of a plane mirror at a certain angle, the light ray will be reflected to a certain angle too. The law of reflection states that the angle of incidence I is always the same with the angle of reflection R. The incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal line meet at one point on the same plane. This can explain how the sunlight is reflected onto the food. For the box, its lid covered with aluminum foil reflects the sunlight to the cheese and egg. For the cylinder container, the aluminum foil inside the surface of it reflects the sunlight to the hot dog.
So now, let's continue the theory with the topic of heat. So, the first one is heat capacity. What does heat capacity mean? So, a heat capacity is the amount of heat required to change its temperature by 1 degree. So, the second is specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity is when two objects with the equal mass are heated at equal rates, the object with the smaller specific heat capacity will have a faster temperature. And the last one is heat energy. So, the radiant light and heat from the sun that is harnessed using a range of ever-evolving technologies. It is an essential source of renewable energy. Solar oven uses solar energy to transfer heat to food. Do you know why aluminum foil is used in the solar oven? This is because that aluminum foil has a low specific heat capacity, so it can enable the food to become hot easily.
Now, we are going to take a look at the third theory that involves in solar oven, which is absorption and radiation of heat. Do you know why the black paper is needed in solar oven and not a different color? This is because black color can absorb all the sun rays and keep the most heat in the box. It can be said that black color is the best heat absorber, while the bright color objects like white do not absorb a lot of heat.
Okay, so now let's continue to the contribution to society. So, using a solar oven can reduce the greenhouse gas emissions from the burning of animal dung and unsustainably harvested wood. And second is, using a solar oven can protect the local environment which is experiencing deforestation from the collection of wood for fuel. And also, it can reduce the danger of home fires. Furthermore, it can reduce the time that children and the elderly have to spend in search for dung and firewood for fuel. And the last is, it can reduce the smoke inhalation.
In conclusion, we can prove that solar oven can be used to cook food under the sun. All objectives we had mentioned in the beginning are acceptable in this experiment.